Flosstube! It's me, Wendy. A Stitch in the Matrix. This is a channel about cross stitch mostly, and some other random things I might show you. My pronouns are she, her. This is episode number 3, so I'm back again. Thanks again to all new subscribers. Wow, I'm shocked at how many subscribers I have right now. I think I'm really close to 500. Thank you for everyone's wonderful comments, and just thanks for all the good vibes. I did have a couple weeks ago, had like a really cranky bad day. Everything's fine, but that day was pretty upsetting. And I came back and I looked at some new comments that had came in from my channel and instantly felt really happy. So thanks to everyone. And if you're new here, welcome. It's a little crazy in here, but I hope you'll hang out and see what I have to show you. I have a lot of stuff to show today. I got really excited by all kinds of new stuff in addition to the old stuff I showed you last time. So my channel is called A Stitch in the Matrix because of the weird glitch in the Matrix stories that go around, random unexplainable stuff that people say might be because maybe we're in a giant simulation and they're updating their software. But anyway, I have a glitch to show you today that's not cross stitch related. I don't remember stitching this hat or knitting it. I do knit, and I've had this pattern. This pattern is the bobble hat, like B-A-A, like sheep. Bah. I've had this pattern forever in my Ravelry account because I think it's adorable with the little sheep and the grass. I don't remember stitching this or knitting this, but there's no one else here that knits. And this blue, I remember this blue yarn, so this was like leftovers I must have used. I made something else with this blue yarn. And it's got my signature. I'm really bad at weaving in ends. I'm terrible at it no matter how hard I try. But I have no recollection of knitting this thing. The other weird thing is, so I've knitted a lot of stuff. I've even knitted a sweater, I've knitted a lot of socks, shawls, you know. I have some kind of mental block. I can't make a hat that fits anybody. And I've tried all the tricks, top down. If you're into knitting, like top down, you can fit it. You know, anyway, I've tried everything and it always comes out that doesn't fit, but this one fits. So I cannot explain this. I think Wendy from another universe who's a better knitter knitted this and then ended up in a box here in this universe. So there's my Stitch in the Matrix for you. So I have a lot of stuff to show you. We should probably jump in because I'm going to be here for a while. So I went to, I think it was last weekend or the weekend before. I have no sense of time. You'll learn that about me quickly. I never know what day it is or what time it is. But I went to an awesome class put on by a stitching shop in Denver, Colorado with Stephanie Webb and Beth Twist. Steph, of course, from Lindy Stitches, and Beth from Heartstring Samplery. And so they gave us homework. I showed you the homework from last class, and then this time I have to get them in the right order here. They helped us finish them. We finished one in class, and then I finished the other one a couple nights ago. So here they are. Look how cute they are. The little bird watcher. And I added some bees to mine. And then the little downy. I'll get close-ups of each one. And then these were some beads that were given away. Some awesome people in class had class gifts. So we got those. And I added a frog to this one. And then these beads we made in class. See the little, can you see the bird one? Look how cute. And it was so much fun to make those beads. And so the thing I didn't know about Beth Twist is that she's a beekeeper. She has bees. And so she was excited to see the bees. And I was like, why are you so excited? Because she has bees. So it was fun to talk to her about what beekeeping is like. It's very interesting. So anyway, here's the bottom. They gave us she had all the fabric. And look at this cute bird fabric on the back. And they gave us this kind of, don't look too closely at my stitching. stitching this on. I didn't do a very good job. I was trying to do neat and tidy like X's to stitch this on, but I failed. I failed miserably. But here they are. I love them so much. And they actually stand up, which I can't demonstrate, I guess. Standing up. So that was so much fun. And I won a door prize. And this is, if you want one of these, you can get one as well. This is an Etsy shop, Whip It Up. And the wonderful stitcher was in class with us as well. She donated these. These are really neat, and they hold 11 by 11 Q-snaps, which I love, a big bag. And there was even some goodies in here. This is one of Beth's patterns. Hopefully you can read that. It says, "My heart remembers hope when the winter bird sings." So cute. And then there was a cute little thread bed in there. Handmade. And there's some other stuff in here too. Oh, a Mill Hill kit. Is it focusing? I have to hide my face. There we go. And then here's all the beads that come in it. And a little needle case, needle slide for the holidays. So it was such a fun day. Actually, weekend. It was the whole weekend. I had some wonderful friends at the table. I've met some really neat people. We stitched on the projects the first day, and then the second day they had takeaway things we could do, like making the pins, and then Steph had us making scissor fobs. So much fun. Just everyone was so great. It was just a really nice weekend. And I actually did sneak off to a stitching shop in Denver. I had never been there before. It's kind of in the guts of Denver. I don't like driving in Denver. It's very scary, but that store is worth it. It was huge. I think they've been around for a while. Just whole rooms for various things. I mean, there were Mill Hill kits I had never seen before. She had just the little spinny racks, just tons of them covered with thread, like every kind of thread you can imagine. Patterns galore. You can tell the patterns there were ones that you've never seen before. Like she was listing, from patterns from A to Z, and she listed a bunch of A's and a bunch of Z's that I had never heard of. And I know, I shop a lot, so I know a lot of designers. I had never heard of them. And then fabric. They have a whole wall of fabric, all different shapes and sizes and colors. And don't be shy if you go there, because if you're looking for something specific, they might have more in the back. So later on in haul, I'll show you some stuff I got there. I hope they don't. I hope I didn't make them wonder why I was there for a while and then I had to abruptly leave because I had so much stuff in my hands to buy, and I was like, I have to go right now, or I will buy even more stuff. So I sort of just was like, I have to go now. So I hope they weren't like, I hope I didn't offend her. Nope, I just can't control myself in a cross stitch shop. So let's see so let's get into, I think we're supposed to do this in order, right? So were FFOs, and I'll show you some whips. I've been stitching a lot, actually. This one is so big, I'm going to show you right now. So I am caught up on the Deadly Aquarium Sal by Lola Crow Cross Stitch, and I'm sure you guys have been seeing this going around. This is as far as we have. So actually, I'm not caught up. I need to do the newest pieces down here in the Don't Touch pool. So I wanted to do a floss tube real quick so I could hurry up and put this back in the Q-snap and work on it. Look how cute it is. Love it so much. So I'm done up to part 10. Right? Yes, this is part, okay, so this is part 10. I got myself one of those boards. Look at me being all fancy. Okay, so I'm going to show it. I can't tell if it's in the screen. Here it is all in one. And then if I can get closer. Oh, the light's in the way. Okay. Hopefully you can see that's the newest. Can you see anything? So can you see the little blue ringed octopus on the sign? And I did him over one just for fun. He came out really, really cute. Because I am kicking myself that I didn't do over one on those pilot fish on the shark. That would have looked so good, but I'm not taking them out now. And then we have there's the Barracuda. Here it is back here. I love this so much. Oh, I'm supposed to tell you the fabric it's on. One moment. The fabric is 32 count cobalt by Fiber on Whim. So I'm gonna be so sad when we're finished with this. It's going so well. I think this pattern's so big, I can see why it's a good thing to do a stitch along, because I would have been not intimidated, but just with a really big, complicated pattern, it's hard to know where to start or where to go next. So it was really fun having it in like pieces that you just stitch up. All right, I didn't plan where to put stuff when I was done showing it. Okay. All right, so in the class, I brought some extra stitching to work on when we weren't doing class stuff. And of course, I got almost nothing done on it, but I guess this board is too big for this. Okay, technical difficulties again. This is what I worked on in class. So this is Lindy Stitch's Merry Beard Season. And I changed the words to say Santa is for everyone. So I hardly got anything done. I was doing fill-in because I got to fill in all this white. And it occurred to me, it's actually showing up good on camera, but really the curly cues in his beard I did in etoile, like a gray, actually it was white etoile, but it looks gray. But I'm not sure if it's going to have enough contrast, because in real life there's not as much contrast as on camera. So what I might do is, I ain't ripping it out. What I might do is get another darker etoile and just do one thread over all just the curly cues, or maybe even a gray. I don't know. I'll see. I have to finish all the white first. If you have ideas, let me know. You know what would be cool too? I probably won't do it. I could do lines of beads in all the curly cues. Ooh, that would be that'd be a lot of work. I probably won't do that. Okay. So that's that guy. And then I did start my Riolis kit Ginger Observer. So here's look how cute he is. So I got a very small start because then I got distracted by a lot of other stuff. Let's see, let's put this paper behind it here. So here's my tiny start, but it is really, it's fun to stitch on. That's like 2 nights, I think, of stitching. And of course I had to move my needle minders over. So he'll be fun to work on. I'm enjoying that thread. It's nice and thick. I am there's 2 categories of people. There's thread lickers and thread not lickers, when you lick the thread to get it through the needle. And I'm unashamed about that, except this thread is kind of, it's like yarn. So it's not pleasant to lick to get into your needle. Okay, so I have this whip to blame on Jen from Jen's Fiberweb. I've been seeing the Satsuma Street Monster House Sal and loving it, but I was like, oh, I have too many other things, right? I have all these other projects. I'm not going to do that. Well, if you go look at Jen from Jen's Fiberweb, go watch her floss tube, and she picked the coolest color fabric. It's like a acid green kind of witchy color. Oh, it's so good. And I was looking at, here's what the pattern, this is as far as they have in the stitch along. So here's what the pattern is. So you can picture that on like a funky green. Her fabric is so cool. And I was like, oh my God, I wonder if I have anything like that in my stash. And I had just purchased randomly, Bestitch Me had, sometimes they do we're ready to ship these now kind of fabrics. So I bought Eye of Newt. So this is 32 count Eye of Newt. And I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I love it. And so I need a smaller board, I'm realizing. There's a big board and a smaller board. So this is how far I am on mine. I was trying to get as many colors into it as possible to double check hopefully this is focusing. There we go. I wanted to see all the colors and see how they look on it, but I love how this looks on here. So mine is a little more, I can't remember, hers looks a little different from mine. I forget which direction. I think hers is a little more green than mine is, but I love it so much. So I've started another Sal. This one's really fun because it's blocks of bright color. So it's really fun. You can just stitch along and not think about stuff. So that's all the whips I have, but I have a ton of plans, and I have some kits to show you, and something I'm calling revenge patterns. And I'll explain that in a minute. So let's see, 2 stitchers, Andrew the runner stitcher and Jen from Jen's Fiber Web. They've been showing these patterns they're working on by Flossie Fox Shop, and they're doing 2 different ones, but they're so cute and they have bright colors. And so finally I was like, okay, let's go to Etsy and look at what's in this shop. And then this is a newer pattern, so I could not resist this one. What's it called? Summertime Magic, Nights at the Lake. Do you see this dragon that's colored like a koi fish? I mean, come on. I can't tell if this is focusing. Hopefully it's focused. I love everything in here. I couldn't resist. And so I had a whole bunch of choices of fabric to try it on, and I did my little floss toss. And even though I have a lot of cool kind of hand-dyed fabrics, this one looked the best. It's I don't even know what brand it is. It's plain old Navy Lugana, 25 count, just Lugana. But the threads looked so good. Do I have the threads in here? Yes, here they are. I haven't put them on anything yet. One moment, technical difficulties. So let's see. Look at those colors. I'm so excited. So hopefully I will start this soon. You never know with me. I was going to start something after my last floss tube, and then I got distracted by all these other wonderful things. Alright, so let's put that back in there. Okay. Other plans. Okay, so one of my wonderful viewers, LGL, got excited about, I don't know if you remember, this Waterbirds Dimensions kit. And she has a different duck pattern she wants to start. And so we thought we would do a stitch along for like any duck pattern, or goose or swan, or, you know, water birds. So if you have a pattern like that you want to stitch and you want to join us, we're going to start, we're thinking like October 1st, and thought up a hashtag, hashtag you quack me up, Sal. So get your cool duck patterns and start stitching with us. I'm going to do this one on, I have another piece of that cobalt, so I'm going to stitch it. I think this will look good. And so wherever there's water, I'm going to change the thread color to something that contrasts nicely with this. But I think it'll look, I keep putting it in front of the picture. There you go. I think it'll look good. So come stitch some ducks with us. And so if you want another idea for a duck pattern, I found this in my stash. This is called, I love this so much, the Quacker Quaker. Look at all these. This is just a genius pattern. Look at this guy down here. He's like a rubber ducky and all the bubbles. I mean, come on. And then, what are some other ones? Look at these two guys are making a heart. And see, you don't even have to stitch the whole thing. You could just do like a little pillow. This pattern is genius. This is by Star Parade Designs on Etsy. And I'm going to link everything below. So you can, what's that up there? Yeah, see, is that like a little koi pond? Oh my god, so cute. And Michael, the designer, he has a floss tube. He hasn't been, I just looked, he hasn't done a floss tube for like a year, so everybody harass him, get him to show himself again. But he's got some really neat patterns in his Etsy shop. So Star Parade Designs, and his YouTube channel is also Star Parade. So, oh, sorry, show it to you again. What's over here? Are those mushrooms? Yeah, on this side here, there's mushrooms and stuff. There's so much in here, I keep seeing new stuff. So anyway, find any duck, swan, goose pattern and join us. Okay, I think that's... Okay, so next... Oh, plants. So one of the things I got super duper excited about Oh, actually, wait, there's more over here. I forgot to show you this. Okay, this is brand new one from Boomerang Stitches, who keeps making awesome designs, and then I have to drop everything and buy another pattern. This is Freak for the Beak. I mean, come on. I had just kitted up like 3 other things to start. I was all excited, and then I saw this and I wanted to throw them all out the window and start this one. And this is what I got for it. This is approved by Steph at Lindy Stitches because she was there when I went shopping. So I'm going to do it on this yellow fabric because there's so many colors in this, but I didn't want to just do it on white. So I think I'm going to do this yellow, what is this? Pictureless Plus Chime 28 count. But again, lots of people are already stitching this. You could just do 1 or 2 and do a pillow. I want to take one bird and stitch it on a t-shirt. Okay, this guy here on this side, I've decided this is his back and he's looking up, and that's his little butt. This pattern is so good. I'm so excited to start that one. So there's that one. And then another wonderful viewer of mine, when I was complaining that I couldn't find blue opalescent fabric, suggested a store called Stitchery Express, and I'll link it below. They're in Utah, and they sell, they're a huge cross-stitch shop. I think they're like a brick-and-mortar shop, but they also sell Fabric Flare, and Fabric Flare is the one that they print fabric. So I think what's going on is Fabric Flare is somewhere in Europe, but this shop will basically they have an infinite number of choices. So once you place your order, they send the order over there and they print the fabric, send it back to Utah, and they send it to you. So anyway, it came really quick. So I'm just guessing that that's what happens, but that logically, there's no way they have every single cut of this fabric, because if you like me, I like to, as a hobby, get a glass of wine or something nice and just sit and go through every item available on a website. You could spend hours on Stitchery Express just looking at all the Fabric Flare. So anyway, this is what I bought it for. This is called Special Delivery, the little birds in the mailbox. And I thought it would be neat to have something that looked like snow falling on a bright summer day, and then there's snow down here. And I thought, well, I'll probably have to stitch all this white. Well, look what I found at this shop. And get it the right way up. I don't know if you can even see it all in one go. Look at this! And it's sparkly. You probably can't see on camera, but it is opalescent. And it goes down to white at the bottom where the snow will be. Oh, I'm so excited. Look at that. It's perfect. I am so excited. So evidently I'm starting a couple of Old Dimensions kits at some point. All right, what else is in here? Okay, so this other thing, this is another huge, this is a very ambitious plan, and I just don't have anyone to talk to about this, so I'm going to tell you about it, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to start it. But I love the TV show Monk. It's an old TV show from the USA Network. You may or may not have heard of it. It's a detective who has OCD, and every week he solves a new mystery, but he's also always, he doesn't want to touch anything gross, or he has all these weird phobias, like he's afraid of milk, and he always has to have a wipe. And anyway, I have such good memories of this show because my aunt who lives in Florida, we'd go to visit her with my mom, and they would watch it. So I have wonderful memories of watching with them when we were visiting. And then when I moved to central New York, I lived by myself for a while. And while I was happy there, I had just moved, and I didn't know anybody yet, and I didn't have cable or anything. So I would download, that was back when you would download an episode into your iTunes thing, and so I would watch like an episode of Monk every night. So I just have these wonderful memories. And then my husband and I, we've watched the whole series probably 10 times, so we love it as well. We still watch today. It's just a feel-good comfort TV show. So anyway, I've wanted to stitch the lyrics to the Monk theme song on something, like find a fancy sampler and do instead of whatever words are in it. But I couldn't find one, so this has been in my head for ever since I started cross-stitching again. So I got this idea. This is With the Needle 2 by Leela's Studio. I don't know if you guys have seen this one. It's been out for a while. I think it's from 2019. And I do like the words that are in it. But for some reason, this scene across the top kind of makes me think of San Francisco. That's where the show takes place. And there's even an episode where one of the characters inherits a farm. And so there's a mystery at the farm. So this whole pattern just, I think it's perfect. But of course it won't fit, right? The song lyrics. But it occurred to me, so I made a color copy of the cover sheet and I cut it all up. And so I cut these borders off, and if I put them underneath and put them down here, and that makes it's as wide as just these 4 scenes here. So I think it's going to work. And then with the words here, she gives you the whole alphabet, because down here you're supposed to put your name and where you stitched it and stuff. But this alphabet is stitched over 1. And I think what I'm going to do, so I've been recharting the words, kind of using the alphabet as a guide, but I'm doing it over 2. And I think it'll fit. So I'm so excited. So at the end, I think it's okay, since I'm basically recharting the alphabet, just using the others as a guide. I'm happy to give the lyrics away. I can't give the rest of the pattern away. But if you are a Monk fan and you want these lyrics, once I get them drawn up, I am happy to share. I think that's okay, right? Copyright wise. Because I basically did have to redraw everything. I can't do over 1 letters. No, thank you. So I'm super excited about this. Oh, and then I have, you guys can help me. Yeah, dropping fabric everywhere. I have a bunch of fabric choices. Let's see. My choices are, so, okay. Here's the pattern again. So here's the pattern. So here's one choice. This is Girthy Stem from Fortnite Fabrics. But I don't know if I want to get too crazy with the color on this one. And then this is Grandma's Stuffin', also by Fortnite Fabrics. Sorry, this is being really crinkly. So this is a nice yellow. That might work. And then I have, I'm sorry, this is very crinkly. This is Weeks Dye Works. It doesn't even have a name. There's that one will go. That's very close to the picture here. And I'm kind of leaning towards, this is platinum linen. I'm kind of leaning towards the platinum, honestly. So if you have any strong opinions, feel free to let me know on that. All right, what else? What's going on next here? One moment while I consult my notes. Okay, so this is, now we're on to the segment I would like to call Revenge Patterns. Because I keep asking people to stop showing me pretty things, show me ugly patterns and ugly whips, so that I'm not tempted to buy any more stuff. But everyone keeps showing me beautiful things, and then needlework market happen, and there's all kinds of new stuff. So as revenge, I'm going to show you guys patterns I don't think you either you haven't seen, or maybe you forgot about, because I haven't seen them being shown on other floss tubes. So this is my revenge to make you guys buy stuff too. So, and I think already this one is pretty awesome, honestly. I love this pattern. And just leave the studio again. So this one, I think I just randomly stumbled across this one. This is out of print, but you can find it on eBay. It's called Christmas Dinner. It's an old leaflet. It says "Cross My Heart." Check this out. Look at that. It kind of reminds me of the Stony Creek, the way they do colors and stuff. And I think down here, yeah, here's a little close-up. Is that a raccoon? I mean, come on. So it's just a cute little leaflet. Love that one. This is one I'm sure you've seen, but you may have forgotten about. This is Autumn Strolls by Lindy Stitches. It's time to start doing Thanksgiving stitching soon. Look at the turkeys. Oh my God, they're so cute. Oh, I love that one. So I just was digging around in my patterns here. Here's another one you may have forgotten about. This is Long Dog Samplers. They did a real small one for Christmas. What's it called? It's called Santa Quill. That's a quill. This would be really, it stitches up really fast. I've heard. I haven't stitched it yet. And you can have fun with like your white thread or sparkly thread or fabric, you know. Two more out of print. I forgot I had these. I bought these back when they were new. This is Marjolaine Bast. Is it Bast? Marjolaine Baston. There's two. This one is like a Four Seasons kind of deal. I think it's even called, what's it called? The Four Seasons. So these are one, you can search for these and find them on the secondary market. See how each border has the season it's in? I love that. Sorry, it's hard to get it so you can see it, and it's also in the frame. And here's the other one. It's called Spring in the Garden. Look at all the little birds and stuff. Here's an old Teresa Wentzler. These are harder to find, but you can find them because I'm not that good at finding stuff. So if I found it, you can find it. This is called Treetop Sampler, and Teresa is famous for really complicated stuff. So I'm a little intimidated by this one. I mean, she does really cool, fancy stuff. There's a lot of Teresa Wentzlers out there that you may not see that often, mostly because they're so complicated that it takes people forever to stitch them. So you only see one or two at a time. And then a designer on Etsy. The store name is Tidy Patterns. And I think if you also search on Etsy for Noussa Creation, Noussa, I think that's part of their name. They've been hitting them out of the park lately if you follow them on Instagram with new patterns. And these are some, this is one she released a little while ago. I think it's called Geometric Fish. I didn't write down the name. I love this pattern so much. She has a lot of neat geometric kind of pattern. Here's another one that's been out for a while. Geometric Space. Look at the cool spaceships and stuff. And there's a lot of stuff in that Etsy shop that you might enjoy looking at. So. Don't forget, it's time for Halloween stitching. I know this one's released. I think this one's released now. This is Autumn Lane Stitchery. Tonight We Ride. Sorry for the glare. And this is the called for fabric. What is it? Bestitch Me Pumpkin Patch. But of course, there's a lot of cool orange fabrics you could stitch it on. This one was in their Halloween box last time, so if it's not released now, it's going to be probably released very soon. This is Autumn. What's it called? Witch's Hollow. Witch's Hollow. And it's the same fabric as the called for, so all this orange is not stitched. That's the fabric showing through. Yeah. Okay. I should save some of this stuff for. So, I think you guys have all seen this Halloween leaflet by Teresa Kogut, but what everyone focuses on is this one on the cover, which is fantastic, but you may not realize there's some other really cool stuff in here. There's a ton of patterns in here, and this is the one I gotta cover up. One moment. I have to cover up the pattern on the other side. That's not a good idea. Okay. Hold on, please. I'll just flip it back. Here we go. This, look at how retro that is. It's like an old Halloween card. Yeah, you want to stitch that, don't you? And then, okay, wait. Here's another one. One of my favorite Edgar Allan Poe stories is, I forget what it's called, the one about the cat with one eye, and the guy's mean to the cat, and then it gets its revenge. Look at these. Look at the two cats with one eye. So there's a ton of cool stuff in this. So there is your revenge pattern portion of the program. Okay, I feel like I'm going really fast, so hopefully you've had enough time to take your notes about what you want to buy. So what I have left is haul, and I've been on a no-buy, which means I bought a lot of stuff, and I have a lot to show you. I have no control at all. This is terrible. So let's get right to it. First of all, public service announcement. It is Halloween season at Michael's. And this is stuck. So get to Michael's as quickly as you can if you like wooden skeletons. And they did have a much bigger one, just like this wooden, but like huge. I really wanted it, but like I didn't know what to do with it. And they also had this, look at this wreath. And see, the bats are another piece of wood stuck on there. So it's like three-dimensional. Can you get the whole thing in there? Look at that. And you could easily, you could frame something in here. Huh? Yeah. Okay, what else do I have? Someone on another floss tube showed this, or showed this designer. It's Sprouting Lupine, and I will link them below. But I was looking around in their stuff, and I found this one. Golden Hour Nature Walk. So they have a lot of patterns like this with like lots of nature-y stuff in it. But I bought it for this guy right here. That's the what do you call it? Like it's the empty shell of a cicada when they molt. So they turn into that. But these are just empty shells. I remember when I was a kid, we'd like find them every once in a while stuck on a tree. And they were fascinating because we didn't know what was going on and what they were, but I would collect them. So this I'm stealing and putting in that Teresa Kogut garden pattern I'm working on. So this, I don't have to design this little guy. And actually I can put the cicada in there too. So I'm pretty excited. So check them out. Oh, here's her. Well, if I can get it in the camera. There's her information. Unless it's backwards. But I'll also link it below. More haul. Fabric I acquired at a stitching shop. Oh, and here's their website, www.stitchingshop.com. Oh, wait, I'll show you this one first. So I was looking for blue opalescent there as well. So I got, this is Picture This Plus Crystal Dwarf. Sparkly. And I got this for, oh, and I forgot to get it out. The Brooks Books Christmas Animals is it's free patterns, and there's like, it's for doing an advent, so there's 25 of them. One day I'll find them and show them to you. I forget where I put them. But they're free. So if you go to Brooks Books, B-R-O-K, is there an E on the end? Maybe Brooks Books. They're free. So hurry up and go download them before you can't get them anymore. But I'm going to do the whole thing on one big piece. So I'm very excited. And then I also have, this is, what fabric is HDF? I can't remember. Maybe that means hand-dyed fabric. That's all it says. But fine. This is opal. It says Vintage Tiffany. Can you see the sparkly? So I was going to do this with the mailbox pattern, but now I'm using that other fabric. But this is so pretty. So I will find something lovely to do with that. And then, oh, here's another fabric. I just stumbled across this Crystal Gingerbread by Picture This Plus. They had a whole bin of Picture This Plus opalescent. You can see this really sparkly. A whole bin, all different colors. I showed remarkable restraint. Remarkable. And then this one, they had the model hanging on the wall. And she's like, can I help you? And I was like, I want to make this whole thing exactly like this. And she kitted it up for me. So this is, I had never heard of this one. Who's it by? Blackberry Lane Designs, Witch's Night Out. And the designer is Marie Driscoll. And this one's been out, I think this is from 2013. So this is what they had the model of, this bell pull. I'll get in closer so you can see all the little witchy scenes. And then they also have these designs as well in here. There's a whole bunch in here. This was stitched over 1/1 on 28 count. And it was just so pretty. Oh my God, so pretty. So real small. So this is the fabric. Did you know, have you guys ever seen the fabric Kermit, which is bright green? Well, they make it opalescent as well. So that's Crystal Kermit, 28 count, and it came with like little buttons, and then it came with the little bell pull to hang it on. So I'm gonna have to do it now while I can still see. Like, that's a lot of stuff. And one more thing from haul. Actually, no, two more things from haul. So I already had this. This is the DMC 310 cone. I had this already, and I've been stitching on this forever, and you don't even see a dent in it. This is not, if you guys have a cone yourself, there's the Cone of Doom people refer to, is like twice this size. So I think this is more the cone of, what did I call it? This is the Cone of Mild Anxiety. So I'm always running out of white and B5200, so now I have 3 cones. This is now a 3-cone household. And then I got this last summer, but I forgot it when I was showing stuff from last time. This is from Stitchman Darcy, and he has a wonderful floss tube. He also started dyeing fabric. So I got these from him. These are all 18 karat Aida. He does a really good job dyeing. Look at these colors. So if you're looking for cool fabric, check him out. So it's only been 40 minutes. I think I've done everything. Well, I can show you one more thing. Let's try maybe every episode, because Stitchman Dace does a thing where he shows old finished objects from the past. So I have some finished stuff. I do finish things occasionally. So I'm going to show you like maybe 1 or 2 finishes from the past. And I have one to show you. I was going to show this at the Midsummer Stitch, but I didn't get a chance to. So first I'll show you the box I did it on. This is just a box. My husband likes building BMX bikes, and so this company sells bicycle chains, and they just come in this box. So he bought his bicycle chain, and I immediately stole the box, and then I bullied him. I bullied him into only buying bicycle chains from this company. So I have a bunch of these boxes. So I took one and painted it black, and then I went looking for a pattern to put it on, and I found modern folk embroideries all are equal in death with the skull, or with the skeleton. Ah, look at that. And so, okay, this is a very messy finishing job. Let's see how the order I can get in. So the skeleton is done in glow-in-the-dark thread, which was not fun to do at all. I think this is 20 count black Aida, or it might be 18 count. Whatever, I just calculated to fit. And then I stitched it so it's poofy. So I just cut the shape of the top a little smaller, and then stuffed inside between the fabric and the cardboard is, stuffing. Shoved some stuffing in there. Glued that on. I did a terrible job putting the sides on, so I stitched the sides so this says all are equal in death. And then I did Memento Mori here. I don't remember if I designed that or if I stole it from another pattern. I can't remember. And then the back is just painted. I left the logo because I thought it was cute. So I did a terrible job gluing this on. I didn't know what I was doing. But from a distance, or if I keep moving it like this, you can't tell. So here's a fun thing you can do if you can find these boxes. It's I think the name of the company, the Shadow Conspiracy. If you're into bicycle chains, you can buy from the Shadow Conspiracy. So find cool boxes and then make stuff out of them. Oh, okay. So I think that's all I have for you guys. Thanks for listening and stuff. So I'm done talking about cross stitch. I want to talk about one other unrelated. Well, it's kind of related to cross stitch. I have something philosophical to share with you. I was talking with Beth Twist and remembered this thing. So, but there won't be any more cross stitching after this. So I want to talk about hope, the concept of hope, because I know, and I'm not going to talk about anything specific here, but I know all of us have about 4 or 10 or 20 things happening in our personal lives and in the world that are upsetting us very much and have been going on for a long time. So think of your things that are near and dear to you. And there's quite a few of us cross-stitchers or wonderful designers who are going through health issues as well. So all of these things, I've heard quite a few Flosstubers say things like, I feel guilty for enjoying myself stitching or doing whatever. And I have felt the same way. This terrible, horrible thing is happening to other people, and I feel really bad about being safe and being comfortable and having a hobby and having fun. So I want to talk about that. So a long time ago, I was into, when I first got into knitting, there's a wonderful knitter. She's a knitter. She writes. She had a blog. Her name is Stephanie Pearl McPhee, and she goes by the Yarn Harlot. And she also, I don't know if she still is, but she for a long time was a doula, which is like a like a midwife. So she was around a lot of babies, and she knew a lot about the history of knitting, because knitting is so old that we don't know who invented it or when it started. It appears to have spontaneously been invented around the world, like throughout human history. They even found knitted items in Egypt, like ancient Egypt. They found, like, I don't know if mummies or whatever, but they found old like knitted stockings and stuff. So we don't know where it originated, or like I said, maybe all over the world at once. So anyway, she talked about knitting being an act of hope. Because when you think about it, up until very recently, when someone was pregnant, you didn't know if there would be a baby at the end of it, right? We didn't know if we're making an elaborate christening gown for a baby. We didn't know that they would be around to wear it, right? Or think of maybe 100 years ago, someone knitting those elaborate cabled sweaters, right, for fishermen to wear. Well, fishing is very dangerous, and so you would knit this elaborate sweater for someone, and you didn't know if he would come home to put it on. But guess what? We would do it anyway, right? So back in 2020, when I started watching Flosstube, what did I see during a pandemic, a global pandemic? I saw people knitting or stitching. I saw people stitching Pandemic from Long Dog samplers, right, which is gigantic. I saw people knitting Heaven and Earth Designs, those gigantic cross-stitch pieces with like 700,000 stitches. People with up to 100 whips, right? That's a lot of tomorrows. And when you really think of it, throughout human history, all the way back to, caveman times when they were drawing on caves and stuff, there was never a time when everyone in the world was safe and healthy. But we kept making art anyway. And I think the reason for that is you have to. You go on as if there will be tomorrow, and we will be safe, and we will be healthy. So please, and I'm saying this to myself as much as to you, but don't feel guilty for making beautiful things, because sometimes someone else really needs to see it. When I get upset about the world, I tend to doom scroll. And what I'm doing on Instagram is I'm looking for pretty things to help me take my mind off a minute of the horrible things. And yes, we should definitely be doing all the other things to help other people, right? All the things you can think of. Calling your congressman, donating, volunteering. Yes, we should still all do that. But you can also be cozy in your house and make something pretty and feel good for a minute and make something beautiful and share it with the rest of us. Because you just never know who really needs to see that right in that moment. And a lot of you guys, Flosstubers, Instagrammers, sometimes when you show me a pretty picture, I really need to see it right at that moment. So thank you. And, get out there and stitch you up some hope. Okay? Bye, everybody.